चारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय Hare Krishna. Today we will be reading a set of verses, chapter 1, verses 32 through 35. किं नो राज्येन गोविन्द किं भोगैर्जीवितेन वा येषाम् अर्धे काङ्क्षितं नो राज्यं भोगाः सुखानि च तैमे अवस्थिता युद्धे प्राणां त्यक्त्वा धनानि च आचार्याः पितरः पुत्रास्तथैव च पितामहाः मातुलाः श्वशुराः पौत्राः श्यालाः सम्बन्धिनस्तथा एतान्न हन्तुमिच्छामि घ्नतोऽपि मधुसूदन अपि त्रैलोक्यराज्यस्य हेतोः किं नु मही कृते निहत्य धार्तराष्ट्रान्न का प्रीतिः स्याज्जनार्दन. So Arjuna is continuing to give his reasons why he does not want to fight. So he says, "Oh Govinda, so if you what is the use of this kingdom, happiness, or even life itself, when all these we get, all those for whom we may desire them, usually we desire these kingdom, happiness, life, so that we can share it with others, with our relatives, we can show it off. We live an opulent life in their midst, but they are themselves going to be killed. So, what is the use of this kingdom, happiness, and life itself? O Govinda, O Madhusudana, when these teachers, fathers, sons, grandfathers, maternal uncles, fathers in law, grandsons, brothers in law, all relatives are ready to give up their lives and properties and are standing before me, why should I wish to kill them? Even if I survive, what is the use when all these people are killed? And now he says, I'm not prepared to fight with them even in exchange for the three worlds, let alone this earth. Earth means Mahi. So he is not api trailokya rajyasya hetoho kimnu Mahi krite. Even if I was to be given Trailokya Rajyasya, Trailokya means this three worlds, the higher planets, middle planets, and lower planets. The whole universe is divided into three planetary systems. So even if you give the whole universe, I'm not prepared to fight. So Prabhupada writes a beautiful purport. Firstly, he talks about why Krishna is being called as Govinda. Govinda means go plus Vinda. Go means, it either means cow or it also means senses. So Govinda means here particularly one who gives pleasure to senses. Here Arjuna by referring Krishna to Govinda, he says, "Oh Krishna, you should be giving pleasure to my senses, not pain. Why are you giving me pain by having me to fight this battle?" So here is a very introspection point. So when we serve Krishna, does Krishna give us pain? Well, why is Arjuna undergoing pain? Krishna is supposed to give us pleasure. Actually, Krishna gives us pleasure. Govinda gives pleasure to senses. But we have our own conception of pleasure. Like one time, this when we were in Tirupati, we were given a house, a quarters basically, and there were grills for monkeys not to enter. Sometimes, these small monkeys, baby monkeys, they sneak in. So one such monkey came inside, and this monkey was completely in chaos, and he was shouting, and he was in complete anxiety. The mother was there outside, he was in anxiety. So one of the elders, they were trying to get the monkey to go out, but the monkey was thinking, the baby was thinking, it's both monkey and the baby were thinking we are going to hurt him, capture him. It was so much in pain and anxiety and distress. Our intention was to free the monkey, but the monkey was thinking it is in pain. So similarly, Krishna's intention is to give us pleasure, free us from this world, get us out from this bondage. This we have come out, sneaked into these grills of this material world. Krishna wants to hold us and take us out, but we are not even willing to let Krishna hold us, like this baby monkey, not even willing to let us touch it. But Krishna is the pleasure, gives pleasure to the senses. We just humbly submit ourselves in the hands of Krishna. And then that is the starting of the freedom for the living entity. And then it is said here, beautifully, Prabhupada says, Krishna is the object of pleasure for the cows and senses. By using this word, Arjuna indicates what will satisfy his senses. Although Govinda is not meant for satisfying our senses, if we try to satisfy the senses of Govinda, then automatically our own senses are satisfied. A very important point. If we try to satisfy the senses of Govinda, Krishna, then automatically our own senses are satisfied. I was watching a video where in US there was this school, and there was this janitor who works for the school. Janitor is basically who takes care of cleaning and those kind of things. And he comes every day by walk, and he takes public transport. It's a long transport travel for him. Every day 1 hour he spends coming and 1 hour spends going. So these teachers, they saw he's a very, very loyal person, has been serving for years. And so the teachers decided they will save some money by pooling together for every month for up to 1 year. They saved a little bit of money. All the teachers pooled together, and they bought him a car, some normal car that they could afford, and they gifted it to him. One day they called him, and we want to surprise you, your birthday, and this is your gift. And the video was showing his reaction. He could not believe, and he was dumbfounded. He was motionless. He was emotionless. He didn't know what to do. It took time for him to realize. And then the first reaction I liked was he was showing his hands like this. He was looking up in the sky, praising God, and he started to cry. So I was thinking how Krishna, just like this person, he had no means of affording himself a car, but he was doing his duty to the best of his ability. Similarly, when a devotee serves the Lord to the best of his ability, the Lord will satisfy the senses of the devotee as much as they deserve, as much as it is needed. Like if you get a job in the kingdom of the king or in the courtyard of the king, you get a job as a king's assistant or whatever, serving the king, then you'll always be in the opulent courtyard. Your heat problem is solved always in the AC. You'll always be traveling in the royal cars. You'll be always getting opulent food. Whatever the king is served, you'll be getting. So naturally, when you try to serve Krishna, naturally your senses will be automatically satisfied in the way that nobody can satisfy you like that. But one should not try to exploit and live life only for satisfaction of senses. Our life should be lived for serving Krishna and take higher pleasure, and automatically the senses, Krishna will satisfy our senses as much as we need it. This world has everything we have, everything that we need, the world can provide, but not for our greed. Kamam vavarsha parjanya sarva kama dugha mahi. So Bhagavatam says, this mahi, this earth, has everything that we need for a happy living. The population, overpopulation, it is only a propaganda. There used to be so much more population in ancient times. Crores of people, millions of people used to live. But there was no dearth of resources, food, scarcity, drought, if people lived a life centered around God. In history also there were occasions where Mother Earth stopped, restricted supplying all the amenities when people stopped becoming God conscious. People stopped performing sacrifices. So, in other words, as long as people remain Krishna conscious, there won't be any dearth of even our sense satisfaction. Everything will be in abundance. And then here it is said, Arjuna's deep affection for community and family members is exhibited here, partly due to his natural compassion for them. He is therefore not prepared to fight. Everyone wants to show his opulence to friends and relatives, but Arjuna fears that all his relatives and friends will be killed in the battlefield and he'll be unable to share his opulence after victory. This is a typical calculation of material life. Very wonderfully said by Srila Prabhupada. So, usually we want to show off, isn't it? We live in a society where more often we live for others than we live for ourselves. We want to show off, hey, I built this beautiful house, and have a big event. We post in social platform, Instagram, Facebook. Oh, see, I'm enjoying life. I'm going to this particular restaurant. I'm going to this event. I'm having this great housewarming, whatever. So we want people to think great about us. Whether we are suffering or actually enjoying, that's a different matter. We ourselves may be struggling. To build that house, we may have taken a lot of debt from the bank, and we may be working so hard to pay off that debt. But we want people to think we are happy for social pressure. But that doesn't satisfy the soul. Arjuna is also thinking, falling into the trap. Of course, he is a devotee, he's acting for us to give us instruction. A bird inside a cage, the owner is shining the cage, painting the cage, putting a gold paint to the cage. Does it satisfy the bird? No. The bird's satisfaction is different. So one should start living for Krishna than for society. If Krishna wants, I should be able to do it. What society thinks, I don't care. Nobody comes with you at the time of death. No society, no relative will come with you at the time of death except Krishna. So one should think about that before they start to live for others. I should live for my own good, my own spiritual good. I should live for Krishna. And then here Prabhupada says, the transcendental life is, however, different. Since a devotee wants to satisfy the desires of the Lord, he can, Lord willing, accept all kinds of opulence for the service of the Lord. And if the Lord is not willing, he should not accept a farthing. So, we accept riches or poverty based on the Lord's desire. One time, Krishna was touring along with his associates and saintly devotees, and he came to a place where there were several devotees of him. Particularly, there were two devotees who were pure devotees of Krishna living in that kingdom. One was a king named Bahulashva, and the other was a Brahmana named Shrutadeva. So both were pure devotees of Krishna, and they got to know that Krishna is visiting their kingdom, and they both came and fell at the Lord's lotus feet and offered their respects. And both of them invited Krishna to their house. And all the sages, this is, we should remember, when Krishna goes to somebody's house, it's not Krishna alone. Krishna and all the sages, they will come to the house. All his energies. When we chant Hare Krishna mantra, it's not just Krishna. It includes his internal pleasure potency, Radharani. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. That Hare Krishna means, O Radha Krishna, engage me in the service of Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Again, Hare Rama, it can refer to Sita Rama, or because Rama means one who gives pleasure, it also refers to Krishna. Again, O Radha Krishna or Sita Rama, engage me in your service. So Krishna means with his energies. So wherever Krishna goes, all the saintly people, all his pure devotees will be there, associates will be there. So there will always be no dearth of ignorance and darkness for that place where Krishna is there, where chanting of his holy names are there. So these two devotees invited Krishna. One was a great king, very opulent king, and the other was a Brahmana who is very poor. So Krishna, how he shows favors is not based on one's opulence or material position. He shows his favor, he visits somebody's house based on one's devotion. So what did Krishna do? As only Krishna can, Krishna expanded himself into two and went into the houses of each one of them. But this, neither the king nor the Brahmana could understand that the Lord had gone to their houses. They both thought that the Lord had gone only to their house. Just like in Rasa Leela, when Krishna was dancing with the gopis, they were thinking, each of the gopi was thinking that Krishna was only with them. But actually Krishna expanded into those many forms as there were gopis, and he was accompanying all of them. So they went, Krishna went along with his associates to each of these houses, and both of them served in their own capacity. Shrutadeva, the Brahmana, served in his own capacity, and the king also served, Bahulashva also served very opulently in his own capacity. So Krishna accepted both their offerings. So you see how it doesn't matter. You can be a king, you can be a pauper, you can be anything, but You should live a life centered around satisfying Krishna. And that's where it comes, this important point here. We have to be instrument in Krishna's plan. So Prabhupada says here, Arjuna did not want to kill his relatives. And if there were any need to kill them, he desired that Krishna kill them personally. Arjuna said, oh, Krishna, I am not going to kill. If you want to kill, you kill yourself. This is not the right attitude. We should become an instrument in Krishna's plans. The Lord can execute his own plan. He is so powerful. If Arjuna was not willing, he can get somebody to, his energies are so potent. Parashya Shaktir Vividhaiva Shruyate. But if we become instrument, we will also become glorified. Like how Arjuna and the Pandavas became glorified. Sometimes, one time a person asked me a question where, when you say you become instrument in God's plan, what does it mean? Is like instrument like a music instrument? You play a guitar or a flute or a tabla, where it's just dumb. The person is playing and this instrument is just dumb. It's just acting based on however you're holding and however you're playing. So does it mean God wants us to become dumb? God wants us to just be lazy and, if God wants, like people say, oh, God doesn't want me to come to temple today. If God wants, I'll go to temple. God doesn't want me to chant today. If God wants, He will make me chant. If God wants, He will let me do this service. Is it that kind of an instrument? Dumb instrument? No. My answer to that question is, I'd like to give the example of an instrument which is Brahmastra. You see, Brahmastra, the particular quality, we should remember this incident where Ashwadhama releases Brahmastra against Parikshit Maharaj. The particular quality of this Brahmastra, it is an instrument, it is a weapon, but very intelligent weapon. All you need to do is desire what you want, who you want to attack. And this Brahmastra will go and attack only that particular object. It doesn't matter, you may be hiding in a bunker or you may be hiding in the womb of a mother. Wherever you are, it will only target you. It will not target anything else. Unlike the modern weapons, like now Israel is attacking Hamas and they are hiding behind these innocent people. So they are attacking and these people are dying and properties are getting devastated. Because this is modern gross materialistic weapon. It cannot attack without causing collateral damage. But this Brahmastra is very intelligent. It can only go and attack that particular. You may be hiding, you may be traveling, but it will go and maneuver and go through the obstacles. That means this Brahmastra, it knows I have to execute the Lord's plan or whoever is desiring. That plan I must execute. I should go like this. I should go like this. So because this person is moving, I should be intelligent. So we are not dumb. The instrument means not dumb. But still it is an instrument. Why? Because it is acting based on the person who released where it wants to go. And then it hits. So we have to be intelligent instruments. We have to execute the order of the Lord as an instrument. We have to maneuver different obstacles that come our way. We have to do all we can, not sit idle. Oh, if Krishna wants, I'll go to temple. If Krishna wants, I'll chant. The instrument has to be sharp also. The sadhana that we do, the chanting we do, the services we do is like sharpening instrument. If you don't sharpen your instrument, how can the instrument go and penetrate the target? So the sadhana is like sharpening that instrument. If you don't do proper sadhana, how can we be a good instrument? Our sadhana or even our occupation, even our material occupation, you may be an engineer or a doctor or a housewife, whatever you're doing, if you do nicely, Krishna can use you so nicely in his service. Krishna consciousness movement also needs the services of so many people. The lawyers, doctors, engineers, contractors, accountants, housewives, whatever you are good at, if you keep getting good at it, Krishna can use you nicely for his services. You can be a nice instrument. And nobody, once you are an instrument of Krishna, like the Brahmastra goes and attacks the person, kills that person, and comes back, and nobody goes after the Brahmastra. The blame comes to the person who released it, isn't it? So no sin can touch you. You can do all you can as long as it is the order of Krishna, including killing somebody, like how Arjuna is doing. But because you are an instrument, no sin can touch you as long as you are acting as an instrument of Krishna. So that's what it means when Krishna says, "Be my instrument." You should be instrument like that. I'd like to stop here. Anyone has any other questions or comments? You can unmute yourself. Bhagavad Gita as it is ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki